I'm talking to voters in Michigan. Here's what they're telling me. For the Democrats, they're voting based on values. For the Republicans, it's all about the economy. How big a role is the economy going to play in your vote, or will it play any role in your vote?
The economy does affect us, but not as much as being able to secure the future for our kids. There are opportunities for contraception, to love who they love, just knowing that they're safe no matter what platform they stand on.
Why do you feel like Trump would be the best for the economy?
When he was in office, I just feel like even though it was during pandemic, like everybody still came together as one and still kind of make things happen. Everything was a little more free. Gas was cheap. We were getting stimulus checks. Jobs were available. Like I had 8 job opportunities in the pandemic. Now it's barely, you go on Indeed, barely any. That's paying livable wage. Everything's going up, but the pay isn't going up. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like with Trump, that's going to change.
I still have a lot of research to do on who has a better vision for where me and my family are at. Recent homeowners, potentially looking to start a family, and just seeing who can kind of safeguard that and protect any potential investments we might be looking into doing. I absolutely feel that from a personal perspective, and again, that's just for me and my nuclear family, that finances and economics are right now number one, because I need to know that the next 4 years aren't going to be as hard as it's been the last 2.
What's your number one issue, and how does the economy, or will the economy, factor into how you're going to vote?
My number one issue right now is women's rights. I want my wife to have control over her own body. We're younger. We don't have kids yet, but we're planning to in the next year or two. And I want to make sure that if something happens, during that pregnancy, God forbid, that, we can be taken care of and it's not going to be an issue.
What are your major issues going into the voting booth?
Women's rights, education policies, human rights, as well as gun safety and housing.
Do you think, Julius, that whoever is elected president can solve these problems? Can a president affect the prices at the daily deal supermarket?
Affect it? You never know. Probably will. It all depends what he's going to do and how he's going to go about doing it.
Or she.
Right.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, I came across this video of a young black woman in Arizona at a Trump event. She got to talking her talk next to Kari Lake, senatorial candidate out of Arizona. And I was impressed by the way she spoke, by her presentation. She didn't lose her blackness. In fact, she stood on it. But at the same time, she expressed her love of self, her love of ethnicity, and her love for others who are different than her. Love for her neighbors, love for her fellow Americans. And y'all, she said one thing that really stuck with me. She said, "We are more alike than we are different." And I think in these tumultuous political times, in this election year, it is important that we focus on those things. I was raised in a multicultural neighborhood. I have friends of all stripes. Matter of fact, I had a lawyer of Indian descent just send me a video the other day that I was a part of. I never would have known. A practicing attorney just gonna shoot me a video out the blue. Hadn't heard from him in quite a while. He said, "Bro, I thought I recognized that face." I have friends that are white. I have friends that are Hispanic. I have friends of all, I have neighbors of all types. We need to learn to get along. And when you come to understand, like the sister said, we are more alike than we are different, you understand why certain people want us to concentrate on the differences. Yeah, it's strategic, politically. Keeps us fighting one another, keeps us divided. Well, we're not going to deny the truth. Some things about us are different, and that's okay. Let's embrace it. We can be okay with it. Ethnic differences go back to biblical times. Read the book. The Egyptians in the Bible weren't the same as the Israelites in the Bible. The Sadducees weren't the same as the Pharisees in the Bible. Come on, y'all. Don't act brand new around here. I've been in black churches. I've been in white churches. I've been in Latino churches. We are more alike than we are different. And I understand, based on this sister sentiment, why this video is going as viral as it is. Y'all, let's get into it.
My name is Jade. I am a former Democrat. Unlike Kamala Harris, I'm an actual real-life Black woman. And I'm a former Democrat who is currently registered Republican. I stand here before you today because I'm tired. I'm tired of the Democrats using the generational trauma of my people to garner votes. They invoke fear. They tell me I'm oppressed. They tell me I'm less than. They tell me I'm not good enough. And they tell me that my white brothers and sisters in Christ are my enemy. No. They are not. As a follower of Jesus Christ, Ephesians 5:11 tells me I must expose the works of the enemy. Amen. And the enemy is telling me that don't worry that I can't pay my bills, that I'm working 6 days a week this week and I'm tired. And I went to school and I have a career. I'm doing worse under this administration than in Donald Trump's administration, but I'm told to be afraid of a man who made my life better. Yep. How does that work? Make it make sense. During COVID, I knew more of my white guy friends that lost their jobs than me and my Black girlfriends. We are the same in this country. All these Americans want the same thing. We want safety. We want prosperity. We want peace. And the Democrats keep going back and look, check it out, right? I honor my ancestors and the people who fought for us to be in this room here today. No one is discounting what my people went through, but honor them by getting past it and invoking forgiveness in this culture. I'm so tired of being told I need to be afraid. I'm so tired that I need to be told all the time that I have to vote for the Democrats who have done nothing positive for my life at all. My life is totally worse than it was during the Trump administration. Yet I kept having, you must vote for the Democrats. We're told this as Black people since we were a child. Let's honor our ancestors by doing better and honor them, because they're rolling over in their graves hearing the fact that Kamala Harris is having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and showing our bodies as these just vessels of lust. That's not cool. These women out here are being told that Donald Trump is like their enemy, when really Kamala Harris opening up the border, look what happened to Laken Riley. She's a woman. She was a woman just like I am. No woman, Black or white, wants that to happen to her. All of these people whose kids are dying, the Black moms, the white moms, they all cry the same color tears. Yes. Yeah. So let's move past this. Let's vote for Donald Trump so we can all be prosperous again. Let's get out of this fear, this rage, and this anger, because it comes from the devil. So hear me, Black folks. Hear me, white folks. We are so much more alike than we are different. Oh, yeah. We need to forgive each other. We need to help each other. And I don't owe the Democrats anything. They owe me. They're to serve us. They're public servants. Stop putting them on a pedestal. Make them work for us.
And there you have it, y'all. Somebody with a good head on their shoulders. Strong young sister speaking at this Trump rally, who understands that the same thing Black folks want for their families, it's the same thing white folks want for their families. It's the same thing Latinos want for their families. It's the same thing Indians want for their families. One of my neighbors is from Afghanistan. And he's a great guy. He's a good guy, a kind-hearted guy. Y'all, we have to get back in touch with the humanity of one another. If you ain't never had a cup of coffee with a Black man, try it. If you ain't never had a Black man at your table, try it. If you ain't never had a white woman at your dinner table, try it. Take one of your white coworkers out to lunch. Get to know somebody. Now we understand, y'all. Some of every one of us is crazy. It's crazy black folks, it's crazy white folks. We ain't in denial, y'all. We ain't advocating for that. We understand there's good and bad among everyone, but if you focus on the bad, it will get you off track. Not only politically, but spiritually. If you black, find you some good white folks to befriend. If you white, find you some good black folks to hang out with. You'd be surprised how we can connect over sports, over fishing, over Bible. And that's one thing I really want us to get to, y'all. I've been to so many different churches, and it seemed like even in 2024, we have a problem worshiping together. And I know that if we worship together, we will get along much better in society. Maybe that's why those folks in power do everything they can to keep our churches separate, to keep us divided by denomination, to keep us divided by race. Because if we ever come together in spirit, boy, we will be unstoppable. Y'all let me know what you think about this. It's a little different. But this video, I wanted to use it to show you the man on the street and what people think that's out here in the real world, not just on the internet, but it's people out here in the real world who feel a certain kind of way that you might not be getting on your daily news. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. And y'all like the video. Subscribe to the channel and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just jobs. Until next time, peace.
She's using her color. I thought that Martin Luther King said the color wasn't the issue. I thought it was the content of our character that we were supposed to be recognized for. But if she's going to keep running on that color, she's going to have a misconception about how black people really roll.
If you bring somebody into office that looks like you, but then continues to detriment your community, what was that for? But if you choose somebody who can raise your community, then you chose the right one. Yes. Wait, so
who do you choose?
Personally, I choose Trump.
I'm looking for who I think is more qualified to run the country. That's all I'm looking at.
Black Latinos are starting to be a little bit more critical. They're fed up of their hard-earned money going to illegal, undocumented people.
Kamala Harris did not do a good job on the border because from what I know, a lot of people were coming from the other side and doing a lot of bad things to what we call home.
I think she's not a good candidate for president because she's with Joe Biden for the past 2 years, a wreck up in New York, you know.
Colors don't matter, man.
Right, they don't.
Ask God, man.
That's true. So what do you think about a candidate that uses their race as a selling point? Do you think
that's some weird?
That's weird.
You lost already. 2024. If you racist today, you lost. Nobody going against Trump.
It's not about race. It's about what they provide for the society, is what they could do for the community.
With her putting a lot of black Americans in jail for the marijuana, they're not really going for her.
We also got people's thoughts on Trump's recent comments on Harris's ethnicity.
She was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Yeah, she was Hindu when it suited her purpose, you know, and now that she's running, the black vote suits her purpose. So, like Trump said, you know, now she's black.
Donald Trump is absolutely right. Her mother is Indian, her father is Irish Hindu, and she's always presented herself as Indian.
What do you think about Trump saying Kamala Harris is black? I thought she was Indian. She was saying she was Indian.
That's my response. Trump is an open book, yo. Facts.
That's just Trump being Trump. I don't believe he's racist. I don't even think he has a racist bone in his body.
Trump said that Kamala Harris always portrayed herself to be Indian, and now all of a sudden she's saying she's black.
Right? Nah, she's really Indian. She just want our support. She's trying to snatch our support away from Trump. But that's not how that's going down.